This morning, pretty early, I started getting some emails and texts from people in different locations in Ohio. And each one that sent me something, once actually sent a picture, were concerned about the crowded bars in their area last night. We talked about, and we've set a limit of 100 people. And we've talked a lot in the last few days about social distancing and the necessity of people remaining apart from each other, at least 6 feet. We also are learning, and we continue to learn as this moves forward, but how contagious this coronavirus is. Several things I've read indicate it's twice as contagious as the flu. We also know that it's much, much, much more deadlier than the flu. So this social distancing is absolutely vitally important. After looking at this picture, but also hearing from people, and literally these were from the Mahoning Valley to Cleveland to Southern Ohio, and all the same story. The concern also that I have, and that the people who are contacting me, is that one of our happier days of the year, St. Patrick's Day, is coming up, and we're 2 days away from St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, when people get together and crowd into bars. And so based upon all of this, and based upon the fact of where we are at this point in this pandemic, we are literally at a crucial stage. Dr. Acton will be signing an order that all bars in the state and all restaurants will close at 9 o'clock tonight. How long this order will be in effect, we don't frankly know. It will be in effect as long as it needs to. To clarify, carry-out food is still allowed and certainly encouraged. We have some great restaurants. We have some that deliver food, maybe more that will be delivering food now. And so those are still open. The restaurant can stay open. That can take place. We hope it does take place. Some of our great places to eat, I know, have carry out, and maybe more will be encouraged to do this. This is not a decision. Well, let me just again clarify. If you can walk in and buy a donut or buy coffee, walk in, buy coffee, and walk out, that's okay. What we can't have is people congregating and people who are seated. So carry out is fine. Delivery is fine. I have some understanding of what this order will do. And I think of all the places that I've eaten across the state of Ohio, many small business owners who this is going to hurt greatly. I'm also aware of the many fine people who work in these establishments, work in these restaurants, work in the bars, who will not have a job. I'm going to ask in a moment the Lieutenant Governor to talk about some of the things that we're going to do, and there will be more to try to mitigate this and mitigate the suffering. But I understand, have some idea of that suffering, and I can't tell you how sorry I am. Our goal is for everyone to get through this. What we wish is that next St. Patrick's Day, everyone will be there. and they'll have the opportunity to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but not only that, they'll have the opportunity to live their life and live their American dream. But if people are not around, they can't do that. And so this is a very, very crucial time. Delay means more people will die. Literally every day we delay, the data clearly shows that more people will die. It is not just only a question about people dying from this pandemic, from the coronavirus. It is also a case that if we do not act and stop and break up these groups and get some distance people, if we do not do that, our healthcare system in the state of Ohio will not hold up. We have people who have strokes, who have heart attacks, who have all kinds of urgent needs for that healthcare system to attend to. So the loss will not only be those individuals who might be not be able to get a respirator, not be able to be treated because of the coronavirus. The danger is not only to them, it is to everyone else who does not get this, and everyone else who needs to be treated. And so all the actions we are taking for this very specific purpose in mind. I'm going to ask, and let me just say one thing about the small business men and women. It is the small businesses that in an order like this are hurt the most. I'm fully aware of that. My family was in a small seed company, part of it retail, for about 70 years, started by my grandparents. I know how tough it is in small businesses. There's also been many DeWines who have run restaurants and many DeWines who have run bars. And so I have some understanding.